Hello everyone, I am Tanmay. On behalf of Bhavtarang Creations, I welcome you all to today's program. I am a qualified and trained counseling psychologist practicing in Hyderabad. Bhavtarang Creations was started 3 years ago with the aim of promoting all types of art forms. It is basically a very good platform for artists. We have conducted more than 50 online programs which include vocal and instrumental performances, art and craft demonstrations, as well as single act plays. But today we thought of coming up with a different program useful for our viewers considering the given times.
COVID-19 is caused by coronavirus called SARS-CoV-2. On March 11, 2020, novel coronavirus disease was declared as a pandemic. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, dry cough, fatigue, shortness of breath, and then there are other symptoms too. This year, the post-COVID complication mucormycosis has turned into an epidemic in itself. Some of the commonly seen psychological problems that may occur due to COVID are irritability, sleep disturbances, frequent mood fluctuations, feeling anxious, emotional disturbances, to name a few. And then there is a possibility of other problems too.
Today's program is an awareness session on mental health in the times of COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, these are extraordinary times. COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way we live. But these challenging times have also proven that we are survivors who never give up. Yes, because in these trying times also, we have found hope and better ways of living and coping. Some of us have been able to spend good time with family. Some of us have learned a new skill, tried some new recipes, volunteered for noble causes, contributed to the country. These things which we would not have been able to do otherwise. Also, the best part of this pandemic is that we have started giving our health more priority. Physical health, yes, for sure. What about mental health? Are we giving it equal due? Fear, worry and stress have become a part of the new normal, just as wearing masks, sanitization and maintaining social distancing is. When this worry, stress and fear tend to cross a particular limit, sometimes what happens is people experience psychological difficulties, either knowingly or unknowingly. But please do not panic, there is nothing to worry. We are here to provide you all the awareness you need to secure your mental health. For the same, today we have an expert with us, Dr. Madhusudan Joshi, the renowned psychiatrist. Hello, Dr. Joshi.
Hello.
I, along with our esteemed guest, Dr. Joshi, will be throwing light upon the psychological issues that have been caused by the pandemic and how to deal with them in a better way. Though Dr. Joshi is known to most of us, but I would still like to introduce him formally for the sake of the wider audience of this program. Dr. Madhusudan Joshi completed his medical graduation and post-graduation from Osmania Medical College, Osmania University. He has been the past president of IMA Hyderabad City and Hyderabad Psychiatric Society. Dr. Joshi has a vast experience of more than 35 years in successfully treating numerous patients. After working as a part of the State Medical Service at Gandhi Hospital and Nilofer Hospital, he took voluntary retirement and started the Mental Illness and Nervous Disorder Clinic, better known as the Mind Clinic. As part of the clinic, other specialized services such as Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Counseling, Alcohol and Drug De-Addiction Center, and Marital and Sexual Psychiatric Counseling were also provided. Later, he also established Dr. Joshi's Mind and Body Fitness Center and Counseling Center. After retiring from there, currently Dr. Joshi practices as a senior consultant and counselor at Sukoon Clinic in Hyderabad. Dr. Joshi is one of the most senior psychiatrists in the city and is loved by his patients and their families. He is not a psychiatrist who treats patients just with medication, but his vast knowledge, his rich experience, as well as his ready wit and empathetic personality helps him work wonders with the counseling he offers to his patients. Welcome, Dr. Joshi. I am sure that everyone viewing this program today is going to enrich their knowledge about mental health, especially in the times of the pandemic. So let's begin.
Thank you, Tanmay, for a good knowledge about me, which I was not having. You have made me realize that probably psychiatric aspect is more important for any part of life. Pandemics is a situation which probably has come once in 100 years now, and none of us were prepared for that. And we all were looking at the fever and the other symptoms, and we never thought that there is a psychological angle probably which has to be taken care of to get a better result and better living condition to the members of our fraternity living in this earth, who probably should have a more peaceful and a happy life with lesser anxieties and tension. I should really appreciate the organizers, because very few people think of this aspect and try to highlight it. So I should thank them because they have thought about that.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
Tanmay.
Our pleasure, Dr. Joshi. Thank you for being here. We all are aware that the first wave of the pandemic hit us last year in 2020. This year in 2021, we had the second wave hitting us more harder a few months ago. Also, we all are aware of the typical symptoms of COVID-19. But there are also a lot of signs and symptoms, Dr. Joshi, which are not highlighted much, but at the same time they are experienced by many. I have myself seen a lot of clients talking about experiencing a lot of restlessness, irritability, sleep disturbances, and also frequent fluctuations in mood and feeling anxious all the time, especially when they are infected with COVID. So apart from these presentations, Dr. Joshi, what do you think are other psychological or psychiatric presentations in COVID-19 patients, both who are in home isolation as well as those who are admitted in the hospital, either in the ward or the COVID ICU?
Yeah, it's a very complex situation. The human being is such a complex organism that many times we take many things for granted, like we took it for granted that COVID, oh, like any other fever, there will be fever, there will be malaria, it will come and it will go, till we realize that this is a pandemic, this is not a usual situation. And when we realized that, we suddenly went into a panic.
True.
Everybody thought that now the heavens are going to collapse, everything
Right.
is going to go down, and there were so many discussions and decisions about the illness, the presentation, the treatment, because nobody knew, because this is the first
Right.
time anybody has seen. So the scientific community was equally anxious, the patients were anxious, the population was anxious, because population did not know what is going to happen,
True.
because they did not know what fever this is, whether there will be a treatment or not, who is going to treat her, whether we will survive or not, how many people are going to die. There were so many insecurities which were built up,
Right.
which caused severe panic, anxiety. In psychiatric situation, we have to think about overall picture.
Right.
We can't be like the patient or the physicians or a population or a politician who are planning for that. We have to think and take into consideration all the situations that arise and through which each individual has to go.
Right.
And what is the status of that individual? The response of the individual will depend on his intellectual capacity,
Right.
because it is very important to understand when you are dealing with a complex situation, each person is going to respond to it in his own intellectual capacity of understanding what is happening. So a mentally handicapped person probably may not be worried about anything. For him everything is like everyday's phenomenon. But a very high IQ person is more panic because he knows so many things.
True.
So sometimes ignorance is big bliss and the average man is comparatively better.
True.
Till people go on giving him misinformation, go on adding various unnecessary thoughts and fears for any other reason, maybe political or any reason, these situations are created. So the environmental stress, the external stress becomes more. Like I
Right.
said, initially his biological situation of intellectual situation, his personality, his capacity to withstand stress will decide how he is going to retire. At the same time, the environment, what kind of environment is created by people around him, his friends, his people working around him or his family. So all these things have to be taken into consideration.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely, I agree. And also, I have also noticed that it is not just COVID-19 patients during the isolation period, but also post recovery. People have chances of developing psychological symptoms because of the isolation period that they have undergone. Moving on, Dr. Joshi, what do you think that when should an individual who is experiencing any kind of psychological disturbances should approach a mental health professional, and especially people who already have existing mental health conditions? Do you think they need to take any extra care or precautions for their coping with this situation?
Very good question. Probably most of the medical and non-medical people don't think about it. The most important part is, here is a situation where the person is put in a totally awkward place where he realizes that I don't know anything, the person who is going to treat me knows anything, and person who is going to create environment for me knows anything. So the insecurity gets tripled.
True.
Added to that, if you have basic psychological disorder, like if you are an anxiety neurosis patient, or a obsessive compulsive disorder patient, or a schizophrenic, or a maniac depressive, or a personality disorder, these people are going to respond totally differently from what the normal population is doing.
Exactly.
By normal population, I mean those who don't have this basic inherent illnesses. This comorbid condition is not there, but still they are also going to react. So, in many of my medical talks to my medical people, also I try to explain to them that not only in this COVID,
Right.
every medical condition, if the physician takes care of the psychological aspect, like
Yes.
if I developed a heart attack, myocardial infarction, I am going to have a total panic and anxiety reaction. So if a treating cardiologist takes care of that by counseling me in the beginning, I will recover better. If I have to go in for a appendicitis surgery also, probably if the surgeon sits with me, explains to me what he is going to do, and then does it, and after the operation he shows me how this has been done and how he is fit now, that will make a difference. Same holds for COVID also. COVID is like any other flu, influenza, we have get fevers and coughs and colds and everything like
Yes.
common phenomena.
Yes.
But here is the phenomena which has suddenly struck us, where we realize that neither we know nor anybody knows what is happening.
True.
So the psychological aspects become more important to be taken care of without telling the person, because psychiatric illness has got such a taboo. So I suggest to most of the general practitioners and everybody, and even the family members, don't tell the COVID patient, you seem to be having mental aura thoda bahut, now let us go to a psychiatrist. No.
Right.
Instead of saying that, we say let us sit down with somebody and talk about our illness, and let us see what that person says. Here we are doing the psychiatric therapy, but we are not making that person feel that we are taking him to a psychiatrist because he thinks he is mad or mentally ill. So that approach is very important.
Definitely, I agree with you, Dr. Joshi, that how we approach the person makes a lot of difference in how they are treated. Also, in the last 1.5 years, I have had a lot of clients who have been family members or caregivers of COVID patients. And there were some who had also lost their loved ones because of the pandemic. And I could see the mental trauma that they were going through and also the stress during those times. And going ahead, they also started showing a lot of psychological symptoms. So, for these caregivers, Dr. Joshi, what do you think can be done so that they are also able to secure their mental well being and thus take care of the other family members? Because they have to handle the stress as well as cope with the grief during these situations.
Very good. You have a very wider way of approaching a problem, because here it is not just the patient who has to be attended to. It is the caregiver also, because caregiver also is the person who is also exposed to the same fears and
Exactly.
phobias. Ki what is going to happen to me if I try to help this person? Even if I get infected, what will happen to me? Then who will help me? These kind of insecurities are going to be there in the caregivers also. So whenever you are talking to any person who has got a fever, who has got a cough, cold, or any symptom which is projected everywhere as a COVID symptom,
Right.
don't talk about COVID in front of him. Start like it is any other fever and how this can be handled. And only supposing this doesn't get, then we can always go in for the treatment for COVID by testing it and finding out and then treat it. So this way, what are we doing? We are first making him feel that probably this is not COVID.
Right.
And the whole world, the whole psychology of a human being is, as long as you have a hope, everything looks very bright and very good and everybody is happy. The moment you create more a gloomy situation, which unfortunately our society is right now doing worldwide, we are creating more gloomy picture,
Right.
because of which we are increasing the anxiety, we are increasing the phobias, we are increasing the problems. See, there are various ways. One is individual way and feeling. Then, as you said, the family and the core group and the people living around or working
Right.
group, which or friends group, which is there. And then, thirdly, who are all going to be the helping group? See, like the medical warriors who are fighting.
Right.
If we understand even their problem and their
Exactly.
anxieties, their fears,
True.
so if we take into care the psychological status of all these three groups, probably we'll be cutting down the psychological aspect so much that people will take this as any other illness. It is simple, like in those days, a leprosy patient was thrown out of the town somewhere in a place where nobody was taking care. Now the leprosy patient works with us and does everything,
Right.
because we don't have that stigma about leprosy.
Yes.
Same thing, we should not have stigma about COVID. And most important thing in COVID is, right now we don't know actually a specific treatment to a very complicated and severe COVID patient. So
Right.
let us not bother about them, because that is hardly 1% of the population. 99% are not going to go into that fate. So give them confidence, show them how things are not going to be bad, and till this 99% we have got a method. And the most important method is prevention.
True.
And for prevention, nothing is better than a COVID appropriate behavior, which everywhere everybody is telling us about: maintaining distance, mask, then sanitization, then taking appropriate measures when you handle a COVID patient also.
True.
Don't make him get into a panic or stigma. Don't make yourself uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm probably expanding various things. So,
No
away
problem,
from your
Dr. Joshi.
question.
All these are actually valid points, and we will be soon coming to them one by one. We have also seen that from the start of the pandemic and the subsequent restrictions and the lockdown, there are also a lot of people who are experiencing a lot of social and family issues, like cases of domestic violence, family conflicts, couple fights. Do we plan a pregnancy or not? What if there are complications in the pregnancy or post pregnancy? Also, financial losses. stress in personal as well as professional lives, and not to forget all types of addictions, especially screen addiction, and in both children as well as adults. There are a lot of clients who have come up with these concerns in the last 1.5 years. What, in your opinion, Dr. Joshi, can we do to address all these issues for these various age groups? How can they cope with the pandemic in a better way?
Right. Actually, the pandemic has really taught us many things. Let us go at the positive things first.
True.
The positive things are that we have learned that we are causing so much of pollution that after the lockdown, traffic has gone down, everything has gone down. Now we are able to see all the stars in the sky,
Right.
which we were probably never able to see earlier.
True.
What has happened is many couples were not even able to see each other's face because she used to work and he used to work and both of them were hardly meeting.
Right.
Now because of the working from home, all the husbands or wife at least are able to spend more time together, they are able to help each other. This is happening, the looking at the positive point. Even the
Very
children
true.
now find that both parents are there, they can interact with both the parents and learn. But only thing is anything too much is too bad. When you go on doing that every day, even they get fed up. What is this? Every day we are going to the same thing. So here, this staying together sometimes can become a problematic
Right.
if each person is not giving other person the required space.
Exactly.
So here the counseling that is required is give other person his or her own place, let them have their space, let them have their thought, and all thoughts are not bad thoughts. All the actions are not bad actions. Each action will have a meaning. Probably communication, if you improve, and if suppose the wife, instead of earlier she used to prepare everything, and when she used to go to the work, she used to tell ये इधर इधर है ये इधर है मराठी क्लायंटेल जास्ती असेल तर मराठीतही बोलू मी त्यात काही नाही म्हणजे जेव्हा बाई आपल्या कामाला जाताना नवरा पण कामाला जातोय म्हणून त्याच्यासाठी पूर्ण व्यवस्था करून सगळं सांगून ठेवायची इथे इथं हे इथे इथे हे आलं तर हे करायचं ते आलं तर हे करायचं. आता सध्या काय होतं आहे की आपण दोघं घरातच आहोत and both of us know that we are there to handle the situation as it comes, but then we don't know how we are going to handle, because earlier we used to be alone and we used to handle it our own way. Now we have to handle it in a way that both the parties are
Right.
understanding, communicating, because there should not be a negative feeling.
Yes.
And because of which the negative feeling, as you said, the domestic violence became very high.
True.
Because earlier both of them did not know what are the good and bad points of each other,
Yes.
because they were always compromising and trying to आज का दिन निकल जाने दो.
Right.
That was the attitude. But now there is no आज का दिन, no बहुत दिन साथ में ही रहना है. So how is it
Right.
going to happen?
True.
So that is why if we don't communicate and understand the domestic violence, the violence toward children, the children showing more oppositional defiant behavior,
Yes.
because they are also having their own individual space which they are not
Absolutely.
getting.
Absolutely.
So if we take into consideration all these aspects, probably many of these domestic violences, incompatibilities, and
Right.
unhappiness and insecurities can be reduced by just making them understand. Because insight or awareness, because all of us are intelligent, once we are given the awareness, we always find our own way of tackling the situation.
Sure, definitely. Thank you for your inputs. They're really very informative, and I think all of us should start implementing on them. Surprisingly, but Dr. Joshi, I have noticed that people whose mental health is given the least priority are the ones actually risking their lives every day for others, because they are giving us the highest priority. Yes, doctor, I am actually talking about all healthcare workers, the frontline personnel, and also mental health workers. We often seem to, take them for granted, and their whatever burnout or the different psychological problems experienced by them go unnoticed most of the time. But as the dictum goes, healers need healing too. So, for these COVID warriors, what do you think can they do to secure their mental well-being, and what role can their family members or friends play to help them achieve this?
That is a very good question, probably Tanmay, because you are a counselor, probably you have understood that the health workers and people in health profession also are going through such a tough time because they have to sacrifice all their other work
Right.
because they want to save as many people as possible.
Right.
They want to help as many people as possible.
Right.
But unfortunately, if some people don't understand and misbehave and create a situation, as a matter of fact, today we are recording and today is the National Protest Day by the IMA, asking the government to probably have more stricter laws to help the
Protect
doctors
doctors.
not get hurt in any of the medical situation. I would pray to everybody that understand the doctor and the medical professionals and the health workers are also human beings. They are also going through the same kind of a situation that you are going through, but they are with strength trying to help each other and work it out. So the situation, psychological situation, तो यहाँ तो करके भी फायदा नहीं है, करे तो भी मार खाते, नहीं करे तो भी मार खाते. That feeling should not come. And unfortunately the human psychology is, आपल्या मराठीत म्हणायचं म्हणजे आपला तो बाबे आणि दुसऱ्याचं कार्ट. म्हणजे माझा डॉक्टर मेडिकल को किती मदत करतोय, is because he is related to me, I know how that person is going through the trauma while he is helping the people. He is a medical professional, because he is to my family, I empathize and I understand. But the other health worker and doctor who is working somewhere else, if he does something, I have totally different way of looking at it and calling it.
Right.
So if we bring in those little changes in ourselves and understand that all of us are human beings, all of us are going through the same kind of a bad situation, and unless we help each other, it is not going to go. As I said, prevention is the only way. So COVID appropriate behavior, and the most appropriate behavior in preventing COVID is to go and get a jab. Injection, vaccination is the most important thing. If we all go get vaccinated, then we can definitely defeat COVID and we can come out of this problem. Let us not get into any negative feelings about injections. Let us not go into a negative feeling about prevention and other thing. कुछ भी हुआ तो बाद में रहते ना डॉक्टर देख लेते, वैसा नहीं चलता. It should not be like that.
Right.
That's what I feel we should convey to the people.
Definitely. I agree with you on this. And also, we had seen that last year people had a lot of taboo and prejudice about being COVID positive itself. This year, though, people are more open about it, but still there are many who do not want to get themselves even tested because they fear being isolated, socially discriminated later, and all the side effects which come after that. They imagine them and just don't want to get tested. But how do you think can we break this stigma up in people so that we are not spreading the disease further and also protecting their physical and mental health?
For this, the best way is doing and showing it. I would give you an example, because in the initial stage when this all started, in our apartment scheme, suddenly it so happened that everybody came to know at 2 o'clock in the afternoon that flat number so and so's resident had fever, was taken to some hospital, and they called that he has got a COVID positive.
Right.
The remaining flat members and everybody, they wanted to shut down their doors, throw them out, ask them to go to the hospital. The immediate reaction of everybody was so then. I, instead of saying anything, I said, okay, let us see what is going to happen. So I took the COVID dress, I wore the COVID dress, I went to that family. I sat with them, I talked, I explained to them. And I made all the flat residents in that area to stand at the door and see what am I doing. Did anything happen to me? No, nothing happened. Here is a man who has got a fever, he has got a influenza kind of a illness, where we have to just tackle him like that. Only thing is, I wore all the protective gear and came here. I just did not walk in and shake hand with him and say nothing is going to happen. No.
Right.
So we do our role properly, and we give that other person comfort that you are going through a bad, but we are there to help you. Don't worry. So we all provided them food, we all provided them sanitization,
True.
and they came out of it. So if all of us understand our own responsibilities, that what we are supposed to do, unfortunately, the human tendency is we only find fault with others.
Right.
We don't look at, though we have got आपल्या म्हणही आहे ना, आपण एक बोट कुणीकडे दाखवलं तर 3 बोटं आपल्याकडे असतात. But we don't look at that. We only want to show the point a finger. We don't want to see the other 3 fingers that are pointing towards us. If this message we make that person realize, ki, what are you doing?
Exactly.
That person will be ashamed and he will not do that. And the other person who is affected will confident, oh, now these people will not handle me in a bad way.
Right.
So if these are the common behaviors, if we can do and generate positivity, probably we can overcome COVID very easily.
Definitely agree with you, Dr. Joshi. Especially, I think what you have said is that we need a lot of mutual support. We have to support each other in every possible way and practice what we preach.
Right, here probably I would.
You have already
I-
set an example
yeah.
for all of us.
Yeah, I will bring the story of Jesus also. When Jesus was there and somebody caught one lady and they all called that she is a bad lady and she is this and that, and we should stone her to death. So Jesus said, okay, that is totally right. She is a bad lady. We all should throw stones at her. But at one condition. All those who have not committed a mistake any time, only those should lift a stone and throw at her. First convince yourself whether you have not done anything. If you have done, you have no right to throw stone at her.
Right.
So that is what I will say here, that tomorrow if you get a fever and if you are COVID positive and if all the others were to handle you like this, what will you do?
Exactly.
Think of that and you will realize that what I am doing is stupid. I should not do it. If I am in his shoes, what will happen to me? If we deliver this message, probably, and people, if they understand, comprehend, and accept this message, which is the most difficult part in a human being, because human beings never want to accept their mistakes. Our egos will interfere.
Definitely.
So, if we can overcome that, probably we can win it. I feel if we do that, most of this psychology of bad people and good people, all the Ramas and Ravanas can come together, all Cains and Abels can come together. In every religious thought, there is always a good person and a bad person. If we keep the bad away and only allow the good to come, probably we will all succeed. That should be the take home message, I feel.
Yes. Very well said. Very well said, Dr. Joshi. I completely agree with you. Also, someone has rightly said that these days too many of us are not living our dreams because we are busy living our fears. I have had so many clients who have expressed a general fear and anxiety with regard to the pandemic, be it the vaccination drive or the uncertainty of when all this will end, and the relationship issues or the changes in lifestyle, and they all seem to be affected by just the question, when will this end? So this is causing a lot of fear among people. And how do you think we can address this? As a mental health expert, what do you feel? What kind of preventive measures, as well as in their day-to-day life, simple interventions that they can do so that they are making their lives much better and securing their mental well-being also?
Here probably I would like to be a little away from the psychiatrist role, and I would really go like a common Indian citizen with all our Indian knowledge of more than 5,000 years. Our own ancestors have devised all these methods. As a matter of fact, all these social rituals and other things were created only to divert human mind away from the negative situation towards a more positive and a hopeful kind of a situation. Here also, if we show them that हर चीज़ का एक वक्त होता है, everything is going to have a time limit, and after that time is over, everything is going to improve. So wait till then, have patience till then, and everything is going to be all right, because so many things have happened in our history which have shown us that there were always bad times, there were always good times. In our philosophy, there is always pralaya kal. There is going to be a pralaya kal, but after pralaya kal, there is going to be good kal. So this kind of this is part of our psychological counseling also. Our Indian Mahabharata has given the best psychotherapy session in Kurukshetra when Lord Krishna is giving psychotherapy to Arjuna to bring him out of that. Here each patient is Arjuna, each counselor is like Krishna, to give that confidence, and definitely we can overcome that. I feel if we have that open-mindedness, things can be achieved.
Right. Any other like simple day-to-day activities would you suggest for people which they can practice at home to ensure that they are living a more healthy life?
Yeah, so some of the families which have been coming to me when they are having problem with the children, or problem between husband and wife, problem between mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, co-sisters, sister-in-laws, co-brothers, what I tell them is, in your family meeting, can you have a night-time dinner together? Why? I said, just sit down there and think about tomorrow. What are the activities to be done tomorrow? Who is going to play what role? Who is going to take care of what activity? And you divide the activities and let the other person do that activity. Don't interfere in that person's activity. If that person asks for a help, give. And you will see that all of you will live peacefully, because all of you are busy doing something. Here the activity is that only. Our ancestors did not say to go to Hanuman Mandir and do 108 pradakshina, because 108 pradakshina is not important there. What is important is when you are doing that pradakshina, you are introspecting, you are thinking, and that is what is required. When you introspect, think and decide what probably is the best thing to do, you will always end up doing a good thing. So keeping busy is the most important component.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Joshi. All your inputs were so valuable to all of us, and now we know how to improve our mental well-being. And at the same time, we would also like to thank you for taking time out and being here with us today. From the wonderful tips that you've given us, right from historic times to current times, we have all understood one thing, that each one of us can still make our life beautiful, however bad the situation is.
Right. There is, the happiness is here.
Completely agree.
How we feel will decide whether we are happy or not happy. You can have everything but still you can be unhappy. You don't have anything but still you can be happy. If we communicate this and help each other, we'll always have a best time in our life. Thank you. And
thank you so much.
It was a pleasure and it was really a delight to do this. Thank you.
Same here, same here. I would also like to thank Mr. Prakash Tulsapurkar and the entire team of Bhavtarang for planning such an apt event considering the current times, and also for giving me the opportunity to host this wonderful program. Dear viewers, at the slightest sign of a physical illness, we all tend to approach a doctor and also take medication. But so many of us still have inhibitions and prejudices about approaching a mental health professional. But who is suffering by not taking help? Because we are fearing being labeled and being mocked at by family and friends, we are not ready to approach a mental health professional. But I hope through this awareness session by Dr. Joshi, all of you must have had a change in your perspective about approaching mental health in a very positive way. I sincerely urge all of you, being a counseling psychologist, that whenever you observe any kind of disturbances, psychologically, that is in your feelings, thoughts or behaviors, please do not hesitate to approach a mental health professional, be it a psychologist, a psychiatrist or any qualified person, because it is high time that we broke the stigma around mental health, and what better time than to do it now. Also, let me help you understand that if these psychological concerns are not treated in time, they can cause havoc in the lives of people and their families going ahead, both in the short term as well as in the long term. So if you have any doubts, any questions, any concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. You can contact us or please drop a message in the comment section below. We shall be more than happy to help you and answer all your queries.
If supposing after a talk or an interview, people ask questions, then that means that my talk has been successful. But if nobody asks questions, then I feel probably my talk was not successful. So always, if you have any query, please don't hesitate. Communication is the best thing in life, and even COVID, the communication is most important, prevention is most important. And I should thank Prakash and his team and my young interviewer Tanmay, who has been very nice and interviewed very well. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. I know, viewers, that we all are just done with this pandemic, but the pandemic is not yet done with us. But please do not lose hope, this too shall pass. Till then, let us take care of our physical and mental health and let us keep the hope alive. Because once you choose hope, anything is possible. So stay fit, stay safe and take care. Thank you.
Dear viewers, you have just heard a wonderful interview session done by Tanmay along with Dr. Joshi. As Tanmay has already said, that Bhavtarang has been doing a lot of work as regards arts and crafts, everything. But this time we saw that from 2019, when the COVID started, actually everybody is under the fear of COVID. And nothing better than giving a psychological help to them as regards what they should do and what they should not do. So none other than Dr. Joshi was available. We requested him and he gave us immediately, he said, yes, I'll definitely pass on the message to them what is to be done. I thank Dr. Joshi for giving such a valuable information to all of our viewers, and I think it will reach to the right place. Thank you very much.